Hi friends, David here from Learn Stage Lighting, and today we're going to look together at the ONYX NX2. I've got it right here in front of me. I am drumming my fingers upon it because I'm excited to dive into it with you. Talk about if it's the right console for you and kind of how to figure that out, especially among the whole range of consoles that ONYX has, and kind of walk through the features, the things it has, the things it doesn't have, so you can compare for yourself. It's worth noting, this isn't going to be a video on whether you should use ONYX or some other console platform. Ultimately, this is more if you're looking within ONYX, you've heard about ONYX, you think it's a good fit for you, you're wondering if the NX2 is the right choice, is kind of the mid-range console. We're going to talk about that right here. So, the NX2, a couple things I want to show you. Number one is this is the factory road case, okay, that you can purchase from Elation through us at Learn Stage Lighting Gear. It's got a couple nice things on it. One is they label it. Okay, that's nice. It's not gaudy, but it's nice. Two, they do have a stainless steel shipping label spot too. So shipping labels, show labels, you can put them on there, but it's metal. It's a stainless steel, I believe. So you can grab some isopropyl alcohol, scrape all that stuff off to keep it from getting all nasty. It has a number of cool features. So I really like this case as a small console case because even though, you know, an NX2 is small, it's fairly compact, it has some weight to it, and it's, you know, it's not too heavy, but in the case, it's not something that I would want to carry if I was, say, you know, going on a gig, going from my car all the way into a convention center. You know, it's not something I would want to take from the parking lot. This case, on the other hand, is pretty rocking. So it has wheels, it's got roller skate type wheels, and it has a luggage handle that extends out this side, okay? So you can roll it along all the way to your gig. It can stay in the case for the gig, or you can pull it out. And when you do pull it out, underneath you will find the power supply, which we're going to need, and the desk lamp, which we may or may not need for this review. Okay, the desk lamp is a standard desk lamp. Okay, fits nice in the foam right there. It's got good rubber feet. And that's another big thing about this case too, is my thought on manufacturer cases is I'm not always a big fan of manufacturer supply cases. Sometimes they're just a product that gets put on a price list because people need a case, let's give them a case. And then they're kind of terrible. This is not that. One of the features to note on that is, okay, so it's got the roller skating feet, which is great with the luggage handle for taking it, you know, from the parking lot into the venue. But a lot of times with cases that have the roller skate wheels, if you sit it down like this, like a console, like you're going to run a show, it will actually be tilted because the wheels will be higher than the other side. Okay, they've got rubber bumpers, 4 of them, on the back side of this console case. They're real good, real sturdy, so that it's nice and flat. Okay, so that the wheels are just barely touching the ground, so they're not spinning, though that would be kind of fun to play with during a show. It would annoy people. Onto the back panel here. We've got our desk lamp. Let's plug that in. Okay. Just a typical 3-pin XLR desk lamp, but it does the 12-volt desk lamp, very typical. This one has a button on it for a couple different intensity levels, which can be quite handy. Okay, 4 direct DMX universes on board. One of the differences from some of the other consoles, such as the NX1, is there are 2 display outputs, which are DisplayPort, and there are 2 network interfaces. Okay, that's really nice. USB. On the sides, however, when we come over to the right side, we have our MIDI and SMPTE timecode ports as well. So again, super helpful because if you want to use timecode, etc., these consoles come with it on board. It's not an extra add-on, etc. So let's go ahead and plug this guy in. The power is a 4-pin XLR power plug. You know, not my favorite in the world, but if you take care of it, it will be fine. The newer consoles, obviously, maybe not obviously, use true 1 connectors, which is better, but this is fine. Then if we go ahead to the console itself, we'll flip up the screen here and be able to show you. So there's a 15-inch multi-touch screen here, which has encoders on the side where you're able to adjust those knobs from the side of the console and put those in the software. It also has on the interface, just to kind of run through things super duper quick, it has us here 4 big old encoder wheels, really nice to work with. They're apparently the same encoder part, or so I've been told, I believe, as the NX1 encoders, but the plastic knobs are bigger and just a little more ergonomic because they're larger for those of us that have, decent sized hands. Then we got our programmer section. Actually, let's get it booted up. So when it comes to NX2 consoles, you actually have 2 ways to run them. Okay, 2 different ways to boot them up. The typical way is to use the processor on the inside, boot it up, and you're able to use it, as a console. But the other way is you can plug it into an existing PC and use it as a PC wing in ONYX. The main reason for this is that you can do up to 128 universes with an ONYX key, but then get the physical programming controls of the NX2. And so that can be super helpful as well. So a couple things you're going to know. One, anything blinking like this just tells you that the fader level is different in the console on screen than it is right now on the surface, so I can just push those up, be good to go. So that brings up an excellent point about the NX2. The NX2 does not have motorized faders. Okay, so if you like motorized faders, if you rely on them, etc., you're probably going to want to look at an NX1 or an NX4. But if you work in theater or, TV, film stuff, a lot of the time you just go, I don't really need motorized faders. And if that's the case for you, then that's awesome, because the NX2 can be a really good fit. Because over Ethernet, you're going to have 64 universes of DMX out of this guy. Again, 4 direct on the back, all built in, nice and compact, easy to deploy. As mentioned before, there is a 15.6-inch touch screen. Now, one of my pet peeves with touch screens, and you see me here adjusting the angle of the screen, and that's the one thing I love about these ONYX consoles, is when you look across the market, you look at other popular consoles, a lot of the less expensive consoles may not have an adjustable screen. Even if it is adjustable, they generally don't have this much range, where you can literally have it in some weird control room where you're looking up at it like this, right? You're kind of looking up at it because that was the only place to put it, like, in some trade show booths and stuff. I've run into stuff like that. And then you can also have it if it's like way low or you're super tall, you can have it way back or anywhere in the middle. The adjustment on it feels nice, and this console is not a new console. It's been used a fair amount, but you see it's still retained that rigidity. It's good to go. The desk lamp, we've got an on-off here. And sorry, I was saying that the button was for a dimmer. My mistake. So it actually has a RGB desk lamp where it's red, green, blue, and white. I know that's hard to see on the camera. That's a little better. And then on the back, there's actually right here, there's a little dimmer wheel that allows you to bring it up. Oh, maybe it was all the way down. Dim it down. And does it click off? No. Dimmer wheel does not click all the way off, but that's okay. So for example, if you kick it up, you then can cycle through the colors on there. Pretty cool. While we're here on the interface, we'll walk through the basic things of the NX2. So you get 10 playbacks plus a dedicated Grandmaster. Okay, so the NX1, for example, doesn't have a dedicated Grandmaster. It is a wheel, so it doesn't take up a lot of space, but it still works really smoothly, really nice. 10 playbacks. They each have 4 buttons. Typically, that's play, pause/back, go, and flash, but you can customize it to whatever. And in the software, we've got a master section. So this is typically for the selected cue list. Again, this is more of a software thing, but it can also be an 11th cue list. So you can have your 10 on your faders and have an 11th selected as the main cue list, or just selected from your on-screen cue list, and you've got 10 faders and then the 11th one down here in this main cue list section. Okay, you can change banks forward and backward between your different faders right with these buttons. And then you have a full programming section with all the programming keys you see inside ONYX, including the little touch screen, where if I select a fixture of some sort, I can switch between my parameter groups And for most parameters, I can go and I can go up with it, or sorry, double tap on the parameter itself. And for color example, I get a color picker. For gobos, I get that gobo wheel, and I can graphically, I can see the gobos and I can select it and be good to go. That's a really basic overview of what you get with an ONYX NX2. So then the bigger question becomes, okay, how do you decide if you're looking at, ONYX as a PC setup? Maybe you're talking about NX, Ps and Ks or NX1s. Maybe you're thinking about, okay, I see all of these different ONYX things. How do I know what's right for me? I think it comes down to just kind of evaluating your needs, your desires, what you like in a lighting console. If motorized faders aren't a big concern, and or you say, you know what, I want 10 main faders, and I also want maybe an NXP playback wing with motorized faders as a sidecar, so that my 10 mains, they don't have to be motorized. I'm never going to change pages on those, but I could have a sidecar of an NX Touch even, or an NXP with my motorized or LED backlit, force faders, okay? So there's a lot of different options. I think when the NX1 first came out and it became the NX1, 2, and 4, and the 2 being the only one that didn't have motorized faders, I was quick to go, you know what? The NX2's kind of lost its place, but I don't think that's the case. Because as I've learned from our Learn Stage Lighting Gear customers, there's still a lot of places where you say, you know what? We want the full programming section. We want those full-size encoder wheels, the little touch screen for the parameters. That helps us to work quickly and efficiently in our programming, and we do a lot of that. But we don't value motorized faders as much, and we want to keep that small footprint. And that's where the NX2 really excels as a console, okay? It's a great console, having these screen encoders to just, go and say, okay, I'm here on my main wash fixtures, and I can select whatever I want there can be. Like I like to do intensity, tilt, pan, and then the programmer live time right on those screen encoders. And that's something you're not going to get with an NX1. It will be on an NX4 though. All right, couple last things I got to interrupt with that I forgot about. One is the NX2s do come with a dust cover, nice little dust cover. They're built pretty good. It's not, I don't have it with this console because we lost it at some point, but there is a dust cover. It's pretty nice too. So dust cover comes with it. That's like a $50 value. There also is a Capture Visualizer Solo license that also comes with it. And so that's a pretty good value as well. I'm not going to say the price here, but it is hundreds of dollars, less than $1,000, because prices change all the time. And if I say something on a video, it's immortalized forever. Okay, so if that sounds good to you, we would love to help. If this video, this brief, quick overview of the NX2 really helped you out and you're in the market for a console, maybe you're sure of what you want, maybe you're not, reach out to us. Head over to LearnStageLightingGear.com, add your console to your cart, boom, right in the cart, click add to quote list, and we'll ask you a couple questions, and then we'll send you a quote and answer any questions that you have about this console, if it's right for you, how to compare it to other consoles. We'll bundle in, when you ask for a quote, we'll bundle in free training through Learn Stage Lighting Labs, where we keep our videos updated to the latest version of ONYX always. And, we just really love to help people, help you go, okay, maybe you say, hey, I'm looking for that 10 main faders, but I need something motorized for my sidecar. What's my best fit? Or I need more DMX outputs besides the 4 on board, more physical DMX outputs. What's my fit? We'll look at what you need. We'll look at your budget, and we'll help you find something that fits well, and at the end of the day, makes you real happy. So if that sounds good to you, check out Learn Stage Lighting Gear. We've got the NX2, we've got so much else, and we would love to help you get it in your hands. If it's the right fit for you, and if it's not, we want to get in your hands whatever the right fit is. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.